Hey there, so today we have another review, and a lot of things influencing my reviews these days are the buy one get ones at Publix, so our supermarket, and this is I believe $9.99 for a 6 pack, buy one get one. So for $5 for a 6 pack, it is very hard to turn on craft beer, and we have Founders all day. It's been years since I've reviewed this for you guys. I actually haven't had a can in quite a while, and they actually have produced a hazy IPA, and I believe a black IPA too, and all that other stuff. The hazy IPA I've seen at Publix, but then for some reason I haven't seen it at Total Wine. You can buy a single can. At Publix, you have to buy this a full 6 pack, so I haven't tried that out. But if you guys like the hazy all day, I will keep an eye out for it and buy it for you guys to try it out. But unfortunately, all they had on the buy one get one was just simply Founders all day. A lot of the market is saturated with this. The buy one get one does not include great things like breakfast out and porter or backwoods bastard or dirty bastard or hell, I don't think they make Centennial these days anymore. I've never seen that. I haven't seen that on the shelf in a while. So, unfortunate. The brands have really been dripping down. This is still being brewed out of Grand Rapids, but obviously owned by Mahu. This is a very fresh can. I bought this batch. It's about a month fresh, so very fresh stuff. Founders all day, which is still, well, was and probably still is a majority of the production. They really caught on onto the founder, like the session IPA, the lower ABV stuff. There's a trend, or I think they actually just were part of the big movement for the trend, because session IPA has just gotten quite popular, and I think all day is really a big part of that. Yeah, so session IPA, not a big beer, right? Oh, 4.7%. So right in between basically Bud Light and Bud Heavy. So let's check this beer. Beer is actually quite dark. Comes in a medium deep gold color, beautiful clarity to that. Not great head stability. Again, I don't trust Florida with the heat. In Florida, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's a very ugly looking head in the sense that it looks like it's that heat or oxidation sort of like has effects to the appearance of the beer. Obviously aromatics and flavor as well. It smells alright. It's decently hoppy, grassy, green, Myrcene character, a little bit dank. It smells quite grainy as well, grainy sweet. But yeah, it's a general kind of like just light, kind of just like vegetal, kind of green, leafy hop matter, right? Like it just has that general. Like, honestly, it's been quite a while since I had like a fresh hop beer, but fresh hops sort of smell a little bit like this, like just green vegetal, ripping character. Cheers. Okay, yeah. It's a very light hoppy beer, right? It tastes quite watery up front. Smacks on with a nice medium to medium minus bitterness in the middle. Lingers. It does have a nice kind of like echoing hop character and bitterness. It's definitely not a bitter beer for 4.7, but well, I guess for 4.7 is quite bitter for a beer, right? Generally, when you're under 5% ABV, you're not going to have many styles that are going to have any real much bitterness to them. I guess the exception would be like something like Pilsner. Pilsner probably, yeah. So it has a Pilsnerish kind of bitterness to it. It just sits at a nice kind of medium bitterness. It hits in mid palate, lingers on. So I guess the analogous beers to this beer, which sort of makes sense, is that it's under 5%. It's around 4.7 and has a nice hoppiness to it. I mean, pale. You're thinking about German Pilsner or maybe Czech Pilsner, but really, you know, yeah. I actually, this is sort of American take on Pilsner. What really makes it IPA? Well, it's obviously dry hops, right? A lot of dry hops are derivative flavors where the aromatics hit quite aggressively. The flavor is obviously American fruit, American hop, so has an American fruitiness, a little bit of grapefruit, orange peel, a little bit of floral element, and then that distinct kind of like vegetal weedy kind of like hop character. There's probably a lot more hop usage in this compared to a traditional Czech or German Pilsner. But yeah, if you're a Pilsner drinker, this is sort of like not very far off. It's very analogous. It has a grainy sweetness to it. For me, it tastes a little bit like watered down IPA. That's always my issue with session IPAs. Actually, do want to consider a trick that I think Alchemist was doing like back in the day, where you can add like carbonated slash de-aerated water to an IPA, like a full strength IPA, and then carb it up where you're having a session. So like something like heady topper could get knocked down to like 4% because it's an 8% beer. And if you add, let's say literally at home, I just like added half percent, like half of it as like soda water. It would water it down, and it's sort of a different kind of interpretation of beer when you brew a beer to 4.7% or brewing beer to 8% and then knocking it down. Sort of what the macro breweries do, making a really, really big beer, what they call high gravity brewing, and then water it down, blah, blah. I'm curious what a full strength IPA watered down would taste like versus this beer. I have 12 cans of this beer, so I guess maybe something to try out. It is in general quite tasty. When I think about it more, like it really does sort of taste a little bit like Pilsner has a lot of characteristics of it, right? It's grainy, sweet, under 5%, right around 5%, hoppy, a little bit of bitterness. Yeah, yeah. I never made that analogy, but it really sort of analogizes Pilsner quite well. The hoppiness is not that intense to throw it off from Pilsner. The bitterness is not that intense to throw it off from Pilsner as well. And I guess this sort of is a small, watered down IPA, which is sort of the goal, which makes it still quite tasty. High utility beer. I will say that there's something stale and grainy that sort of sits on my palate a little bit that like has a macroish kind of flavor to it. I don't know what it is, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. Stale and grainy, yeah, it's sort of a macroish kind of flavor. It's not as fresh and vibrant as I could, but then again, the appearance maybe sand heat. I don't know, but again, these are some of the freshest examples of beer that I can get. When you get the buy one get one at Publix, they coordinate very well, and it's got to be the freshest you can get the beer. Like it just, I mean, when the state or whatever, I mean, I don't know if it's like region wide, but at least for the state, it has to be like, hey, founders, we're ordering, I don't know how many, like thousands and thousands of cases of beer. Get it to us, and we're gonna hit it on a Thursday, and it's going to go for a week, and it's be buy one get one, and people are gonna rip it up, right? Like, I mean, I can't be the only person just going like, hey, let's buy a ton of this stuff, right? Like, I mean, I bought two. I don't know how much more I buy, but like a lot of people can't put down the deal of like, hey, it's a $5 6-pack of craft beer. Like, you can't turn that down. So, very tasty. Let's go with the solid. It's all right. I'd drink it, but I wouldn't be like, shocked by this guy. Solid 86. 86. Founders all day. Let me know what you think. It's a very tasty beer. It doesn't like do a lot for me. It's very tasty. It has high utility. Is high utility better than that? Oof. All right, I'll bump it up to an 87. 87. The utility is fantastic. This beer, I love the fact that it has, really nice hop character. It just tastes like you're drinking something relatively hoppy, but like you're not really quite getting there. But then again, that could be the cheat of like, why am I giving it such a good rating? Excuse me. 86 is a good score. 86. Until next time, guys. Cheers later.